Is this the flagship killer of 2025? Meet Poco F7 Pro, a phone that promises power, style and insane value. But is it really worth your money? Let's inspect and find this out.
Okay, and this is interesting because this year, besides the F7 Pro, which I hold in my hand, Poco are also proposing the F7 Ultra, with the latter one supposedly competing against higher-end models of smartphones, whereas the F7 Pro is supposed to carry on with the good traditions of the well-known F Pro line, namely offering exceptionally great hardware at a very decent and attractive price. And I've already had it for long enough in order to be able to share with you which are the positives, which are the negatives, and back each of my words and statements through a lot of evidence, showcases, photo samples, tests and experience moments. So yes, apparently behind all these few minutes that you're going to spend here watching everything about the F7 Pro, there's a lot of research and testing. So let's get started.
Snapdragon 8 Generation 3, 90-watt quick charging, stunning display with 4040p resolution, crazy specs, right? But guess what you won't see on the spec sheet? Under the hood, Poco F7 Pro is absolute monster. Even under pressure, it barely heats up thanks to the upgraded vapor chamber. And for gamers, no frame drops even at maximum settings. Good news is that the cooling system here is among the best in class, which helps the beastie to sustain its great performance for long periods of time.
If you think about the cameras, well, obviously there are some hardware changes about the design of this ring. In terms of hardware upgrades of the cameras themselves, they are rather insignificant. Therefore, if any, these enhancements of the photo and video quality would be mostly thanks to the image processing, which is part of the new system on a chip inside, which probably makes you think that I'm not overly too excited about the camera quality. However, I have to say that the main camera performance is actually pretty decent.
On the back, you've got a 50-megapixel main sensor with optical image stabilization, and honestly, daytime shots look lovely. Colors pop without being too oversaturated, details are crisp, and HDR does a great job for balancing out tricky lighting. It's easily among the better shooters in this price range. During the day, though. At night, somewhat. As for video, this is where the magic fizzles a bit. Even 8K is supported and stabilization is okay, especially in 1080p and 4K, but dynamic range and overall detail could use some work. It is good enough for casual use, not something I would rely on for serious content. As for portraits, they're quite alright, edge detection isn't perfect, but it handles skin tones naturally, and that background blur feels fairly organic, not overly processed. Then there's the 8-megapixel ultra-wide. It does a decent job in bright light again, especially when you're outdoors, but in low light, really struggles. Soft details, blown-out highlights, and this grain which starts to creep in. I recently tested it side-by-side with the Insta360 Ace Pro 2, and honestly, it reminded me how action cams can still outshine some smartphones when the lights go down or motion picks up. Maybe it's time we start paying attention to those again, huh? If you want to hear my feedback about design and build quality, I would say Poco F7 Pro feels more premium than its price suggests. With a frosted matte glass back and aluminium rails, it finally ditches that budget feel, arrives in style too. Here, I should highlight two important facts: screen protector, which is factory pre-applied, and a back silicone case which is present too, a black one, which will look good even in several years from now. Structurally, the unibody should last, the glass protection level is decent, and even the tiny details such as the buttons and the speaker cuts look nice. Yet, the lack of 3.5mm port will leave bitter taste with some of you. It's been missing from the series for a while though. If we look at the most exciting specifications, I'm sure that most of them, especially if you're a fan of tech, are gonna keep you quite happy. Because the octa-core processor, the loads of RAM and the fast storage are just a small part of the big picture. The hardware of the Poco F7 Pro, in my opinion, represents a great value deal, especially when we compare to other Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 smartphones. Those are primarily the flagships of 2024. And now being released in 2025, this Poco can benefit from the enhancements with the battery capacity. And the only two components which are kind of making it short on being called a true flagship
are the lack of a telephoto camera and the lack of wireless charging. A good fact is that Poco are bringing in some nice enhancements on the display. Although the specifications might sound very similar to the Poco F6 Pro, there certainly is better protection now being Gorilla Glass 7i, and there is very high frequency of the pulse width modulation, which translated in simple words means that the display should be a lot gentler to the eyes, especially as compared to some Samsung panels that they use in their Galaxy line. Let me show you more.
6.67 inches AMOLED, WQHD Plus resolution, 120Hz refresh rate, Dolby Vision, 3200 nits peak brightness. It's buttery smooth and punches way above its class. The 6000 mAh battery and the 90-watt charging convert into full recharge, taking about 37 minutes. And although the charging speed is a tiny downgrade compared to last year, it's keeping the Poco F7 Pro way above competitors such as the Pixel 9 or the Galaxy S25 series. Real-world usage easily lasts a day, maybe day and a half with heavy use. The convenience of super fast charging is also lovely, but you may miss the lack of wireless charging. The communication side is also as good as it could get, up to Wi-Fi 7 supported, NFC for contactless payments, the iconic infrared blaster. There's nothing missing with the F7 Pro that you wouldn't find with the much more expensive Xiaomi-made smartphones. At least not in terms of connectivity. And I find the signal reception super strong and even better than what I get with the Galaxy S25 Plus, which I used as a daily driver for several months already. Security and AI should also be praised. Besides the blazing fast ultrasonic in-display fingerprint scanner, there also is well-working face unlock feature, proper always-on display mode, and a handful of AI-backed enhancements. Besides Gemini, of course, Xiaomi add some tricks about transcribing, easy call management, and of course, powerful photo and video edits. As for the rest of the software, the phone runs HyperOS based on Android 14. It is fast, fluid, but unfortunately not any less bloaty than older generations. 4 years of updates promised sounds like a real deal though, and this might be a game-changing decision not just for Xiaomi as a company, but also about attracting a lot of new customers like you thanks to this strong commitment. F7 Pro lets you easily connect to other Mi-branded tech pieces and benefit from all the goodies that the company offers for their more premium lines. For example, if you have a Mi Pad around, I can assure you that it gets quite close to the Apple ecosystem experience in many ways. So far so good, and let's remain perfectly objective and also highlight the drawbacks. No eSIM support and lack of wireless charging sound like the most common deal breakers. The not as capable ultra-wide and the lack of telephoto camera may also contribute to the list with the flows, especially given the fact that some mid-rangers start to add up such. But let's not forget about the price, because it might be the perfect value Snapdragon 8 Generation 3 based smartphone ever.
My conclusion about the F7 Pro is that this is a very consistent smartphone with its ancestors, because it keeps all the good traditions from the Poco F6 Pro line, built on top with a slightly better system on a chip, just the next generation, which slightly improves the camera experience, the overall performance, a few other components, benefits from 2025 enhancements about the battery capacity, and slightly improves the display experience while keeping everything else at the same good level with almost the same good and attractive price. And I think this is a hell of a deal. And because of those, I would say, incremental changes, I think the decision-making chart this time is going to be pretty simple. If you already have the F6 Pro, keep it and enjoy it. If you come from any of the older and more basic Xiaomi-made smartphones, this is such a great choice and one of the best ways to access in the premium kind of experience the Xiaomi ecosystem and access to all these devices and some of the AI features and so on. If you come from another brand and are currently considering, I think the OnePlus 13R should also be on your shortlist, and maybe if you feel that there are other models by Realme or other brands that should be considered, we can discuss everything in the comment section below the video. As usual, more information about the product, a way to order it with a discount you're going to find in the description area as a link. And if you want to support my work here on the channel, please subscribe, give me a like, or consider becoming a channel member. I'm the Tech Mishko. It's been so much fun to prepare and present all of this, and can't wait to see you in the next video. Bye!